record. So make sure to set up your project again, and once again I'm gonna just demo only the office shares on the back side and a little bit of this on the bottom, and I will have to stop before 2 o'clock because I have a meeting. So now when we look at this picture, let me make sure if I record it. Okay, right there. There's a little part right there, and then there's a connection here, and these are two pieces, and then one piece here, and and another piece for the cushion. So let's start it from here. So now what I can do, if I'm gonna hold tab and paint, I could extrude these faces so that I can get that extra section to build this part, that shape. So extrude, and then let me look at the picture again. It seems like a little bit after I extrude it, so it's a little bit inside here, has a little border right there. So I could start it with offset right away. Here we go. Oh, I didn't select all the faces. Let me undo. Might be easier if I switch to 4, and I'm gonna select all the faces from the bottom. Right click and choose face. Select all the faces and subtract. Here we go. Oh, well, one here, one there. Let me test. Extrude is offset. Now is correct. Here we go. So now I offset too far. So it's mean I probably could do only maybe one. Maybe no. The reason is can you see this line? That's the line. That's the problem one. I'm gonna switch to scale 2 right away after I extrude a little bit. After I offset, and then I'm gonna move it and push. Now I can't just push it because I already rotated. Hold on. Let me undo quick. Before I scale, I need to hold R key, left mouse button, Exits, Custom, and this time let's set to face. Pick that face. Here we go. So that I can scale down like this. There we go. So basically I want it to be right on the center. Now move. So just move it right. I try to make the center line straight. You can see right there. There you go. And now I'm gonna move only these vertex. And once again, if you miss this, you need to set the custom orientation to face. So basically, if you're on move 2 or any other 2, just hold W key, left mouse button, Exits, Custom, set to face. And then you just pick that face, something like that. Okay, now I'm gonna undo quick because I click it changing the direction again, but now is correct. Okay, so now these two need to come closer. So I could select all of these vertices. There we go. And I'm gonna switch to scale 2 and gonna squeeze it. Here we go. so that they looks kind of almost straight, and then I'm gonna move the other two later. So we're gonna, let me check the picture again one more time. Most likely will be right around there, I guess. So we could, how about just right here? Okay. And this section I could move it backwards, scale. Here we go. So I just kind of try to prep it, and maybe these edges, come on. Oh, it doesn't let me double click. Here we go. So hold shift, double click. If it doesn't let me select, double click. Oh, I know what happened. That one, oh, that one is 5 corner. How did I get 5 corner? I have to cut them. I'm gonna move it closer. And maybe these. You need to eyeballing it this time. Here we go. Okay. And let me make sure. Yeah, I don't know how did I get that. So I'm gonna have to cut it. There we go. Need to be 4 corner. And now I could extrude this. Select face. Oh, that's weird. Okay. If I cannot double click, I'm gonna have to select manually. Here we go. And extrude. Push it down. There we go. And let me press 3. See that? It looks like what it's supposed to. And don't need to worry about this section. It's just because it's with that angle. Can you see? You can't really tell. Let me, come on, stop. Okay. Let's see. Can't really see it. It has to be, oh, it has to be longer. So I'm gonna go back. I think this time I'm gonna play a little bit. Let me move it down. Now, when I turn on move to, I can't see the handle. Can you see that? That because the custom assets still exist, and somehow after extrude, Maya doesn't know what to do. So what you need to do is if you double click on the move tool and just reset to the world or object space. Object. Oh, my pivot point is go away. So you're gonna press D, and hey guys, if your pivot point is went somewhere, I thought that it was Maya couldn't figure it out, but you can reset it if you press D, and then when you look at on the my cursor, when you move it outside, it has the word reset, so you can click. Come on. Reset. That's, did I select something else? Let me make sure. Here we go. Something happening. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Now it's working again. Press 4. Oh, sorry. Press 3 to see how it look. I think that's good enough. Now I'm gonna press 1 back. On this section, I could play around a little bit by grabbing only these edges. And I'm gonna hold W key, left mouse click, exit, custom. This time I'm gonna set to edges and pick that center. Here we go. I just wanted to taper this. Select that. Here we go. So if I press 3, and I could add a little more detail because this is gonna this we can use it for the back seat also. So right here I select all edges on left and right, and then I choose bevel. Here we go, and let me add fraction a little higher. So now when I press 3, it will look a little rounder. Press 1 back. I want it higher. 2. Let's see if I can override 1 point. How about that's good. And let's squish this in a little bit. Shift double click. Oh, come on. Nope. There we go. Scale. And mine still on the custom exit still set to 2 edges. So I can just squeeze this in. Press 3. Here we go. So looks like similar to what we wanted. And I'm gonna press W to move it up. I think I squeezed it too much. Here we go. 3. Okay, I think that's good for now. And I can cut this section. If you press 1, it need to be full corner. So just write 1 and 2 here. Nope, I might make sure you right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. When you need to count the vertices. There we go. Okay, and let's stop continuity. When I press 3, I want this section to be a little more flat. So select these phases and extrude it, offset just a little bit of it. Press 3. Here we go. And I think that's it. I don't need to add more detail because it's such a further away. So that looks strange. It looks okay on there, but not on here. Let me turn off the camera. Show image plane, not camera. Oh, it looks okay now. It just what do you call that? Illusion of the image. Okay, so I think we are good. So now on this section, I'm gonna skip this part, go right into here first because some of you might already finish that section. So now we're gonna start it with a box again. So I'm gonna shift left mouse right mouse click, and I can choose a cube right there. Turn on move to, and I'm gonna reset my to object mode. Hold W key. You know, you can double click on the move to go to switch this orientation of the selection, right? But you can also hold W key with left mouse button when you don't select anything else. Or when you select the object. And then you can switch. You know, it just, this is the option, that's it, right there. But there's a hotkey. Okay. So I'm gonna just locate this, align, just go to match transform, just match translation. And then, so that it gets started a little quicker. Here we go. Now, when we do this though, we could rotate into that angle and then we can sculpt it from there too. So let's try that this time, but move into the location first, and then you're gonna thin it, scale it. I think that's about okay. And how about the width? Try to mimic the, it's about the same size as on the back here. So I mean, you could move a little bit back, rotate, and just remember there's no rotation volumes yet. So we're gonna changing the rotation volumes, and I am on object space. So here we go. So we're gonna just rotate. Okay. So the trick on here is do not freeze transform, because if you freeze transform, it's gonna be hard to model if we model on this angle. So because we really need the angle, the rotation angle need to be right there. Okay. And now I think I move it too far, of course. Maybe not. Here we go. Okay. So now we're gonna, oh, I can see I have to scale a little more. Okay. I think it's too far. Okay. Then push backward right around there. And it's gonna have an angle like this too. Here we go. Seems really far. Okay. And let me switch this to transparency. Okay. Or even wireframe mode. Okay. So on the top, select that, turn on scale 2. Now once again, we are on object mode. And the object mode follow this orientation right here. So don't freeze. You freeze it later. So now I'm gonna taper this section. There we go. I don't really know. I think it's incorrect. I think it's wide, and right here, and then there's a section. Let's insert edge loop. You can choose, if it doesn't let you insert edge loop, just do multi-cut. Oh wait, let's do multi-cut so that we can cut in half. And hold control key with middle mouse button. Here we go. And then one more. 1, 2. Middle mouse button to click. So this is what we need. And we're gonna make this section a little round. So if I push, can you see? 1 there. And then now if I grab only the edges on the corner here, and I can push it down. So now it looks a little round. Okay. But the angle is not matched yet, which is okay. Let me switch to Q. I want to see the shape. It's kind of like that. Okay. Now we need to grab a some of the edges. Double click on edge loop so that it's looped. We're gonna bend it. So now push, tumble you see into you see is we want to push on the Z direction in straight line. So we bend it. Now click a pair and then bend it. Here we go. So now if it's not enough, I think this is enough. It's a little too high. because we're gonna have to have extrusion, and I think the bottom also round up. So I'm gonna just move it like that, and I'm gonna leave this section straight line. I think maybe not. Let's move it up just a bit too. Here we go. Okay, so now that's about right. I think this section can go down even more. Select phases. Here we go. Now, oops. Move on y-axis. Here we go. Actually, I feel like these sides are lower. You know, based on the images. If you look right there. Oh, maybe I was wrong about the size. I'm gonna squeeze it in, taper it. Here we go. So now it's about fit there. Similar now. Okay. So now on this section, it need to be a bit smaller because the cushion. So we're gonna select the object mode, and now I think the thickness, we can leave it there. It can be overlapping. Let's scale it down a little bit first, and then scale only, constraint only on X plane, which is only blue and green color, will be scale Z and X. Here we go. And then I'm gonna move backward to just get started. Now for the cushion, let's duplicate this right away. Control D. We're gonna reuse this. Okay. So I'm gonna scale it up. And if I switch to 5, you will see something like this. So let's reuse it. Okay. And now if you look at on the image, oh, it just has a gap. I thought it was it doesn't really cover. So in this case, I will scale it down only on X plane because I want to keep the thickness. Here we go. So just a bit. Okay. And this guy, I would scale it down a little bit. Oh. Sorry, scale. Just for now. Okay. So now right here, this is what we can do. Let's cut this in the middle. Here we go. Because we're gonna add this part right there. And that part is the same technique as I showed to you when I do the bottom. There we go. Let me check the picture again. It's all the way down, so that's good. We could just extrude. Now let's see if it's the right level, the height. I think that's good. Okay. So extrude. And while we're still on here, offset it. I think at this point, I'm gonna offset just a bit. How about 1? Just a little bit, because we want this section to be spread out at least. And then now we can grab these edges and we need to slide it. So slide edge. The reason that we need to use slide because we want to maintain the angle. And I think let's do halfway. And here we go, something like that. So at this point though, if we're gonna try to make it symmetrical, we better to cut them half. Here we go. And then at this moment we can rearrange on this side. It's a little rounded on the top there. So this is a vertex. Oops. Select vertex. We're going to move the vertex down. However, when you move the vertex down, we need to use a translate that oriented to this line. So W left mouse click, axis, custom, set to edge, and pick that edge so that it won't penetrate the body of the backside of the back seat. So I'm gonna move it down even more. Let's press 3 to see how it looks. So it's gonna look like round like that. Okay, press 1 again, I think, and I'm gonna push back right here. Okay, now on this section though, let me think quick. We could make them line up. Well, on this project we don't really have to concern. If I control 1, here we go, I could actually create a loop all the way here and then cut all the way up there. Now we'll get all 4 corners really nicely. So this is, just watch this quick. So if I do this, let's say from here, because I can remove this line, and I'm gonna 1 there and 1 here, 50%, and hold shift, so the up, here we go, so 50, 50, and then I can go all the way. It just, when you don't be on the right angle, Maya won't let you cut it. So now if you look, and if I remove this line, here we go, so now it's 4 corner. You see that? Okay. And if I want this to be a nicer uniform, I could even cut more. Can start it from here and then gonna shift. I'm checking the line. Let me use shift key. Here we go. And then backspace if it's not what you want. Here we go. So, and delete. Here we go. Can you see? So now I can mirror geometry, and you don't really have to clean up like what I just did. And this time I'm gonna use object space. Here we go. So I mean, you could just leave it a little messy, it's fine, because when I grade, I am not grading your topology. I'm grading your position in size. So now I can extrude face and push it. And then if I like, let's do offset a little bit. Now press 3 to see how it looks. Here we go. Getting somewhere. The shape might be a little miss, but we can work with that. So let me turn this off. Press 1. Oh, no. Selection 2 and object space. Let's hide the camera, hide the image plane. And if I press 3 again, here we go. So it looked like this at the moment. So, and now what I can do next is stop continuity. Let me take a look at that. So the bottom and has a little section that has a little split there. That is not a big deal. Actually, it seems like I have to bend even more than right now. I think it should be okay for now. So I think I'm gonna move this vertex up even more. So make sure W exits might still set to that edge, but just want to reinforce it. There we go. See that? I can push it even higher. Okay. And now I'm gonna stop continuity. So on this section, to stop continuity, this would be the best choice. If you do extrude, just only from that inside, and just offset a little bit. Doesn't matter what number it is. Press 3 to see how it looks. So it's look kind of flat now. Press 1 or 2, press 2 back, and then I'm gonna multi-cut one more, like on the lower part here. So now it's really solid shape. Now on this section, I can do loop like this. Here we go. If I want to have a really sharp split. Okay. So, and now you can't really loop on here. Hold on, let me go to 1. Can you see you can't do that? However, we need stop continuity on that border anyway. So we could just extrude. And I think before I extrude, I should, well, let's do it. It should be okay. Extrude and offset. How about 0.5? 1. 1 is be better. Press 3. Nope. Press 3. Here we go. Okay. So it's really nice and clean now. Let me see. Now these sections need to be hard too. So go back to 1, and because we already extrude on the bottom, the reason that we extrude on the bottom, because if you don't extrude on the bottom, this part will be separated. So in this case, this is what I can do. I'm gonna select up. If it run from the bottom, just keep doing this first and shift double click. Here we go, and select, extrude again, offset 1. Up. I select. There we go. I should have switched to 4. When you select 4, you can see better. Okay, I should turn off a backface cooling. So extrude. Now, here we go, and press 5 and deselect. Switch to kill. Press 5 and 3. Here we go. Now on this section, it's just because of the vertices. Let's press 2. Right there, the vertices is a push, but we don't really see it. We don't really, when we press 3 and turn this line off, we can't really tell. So now that's how it looks. So we're gonna do Control 1 to bring everything. So now this section is gonna be, I think we could just let me press 3. Here we go. So probably gonna have to make it a little bigger. And before we do that, press 2 instead. Let's cut on this section because we just need only right here to be sharp. Right there, right? See right there? It's a little open. You don't have to, oops. What am I doing? You don't have to do exactly like that. It's just a small part. So I'm gonna do multi-cut, and I'm gonna hold Control key and cut the loop right there so that these sections started to be a little sharper. Now it does not go in. I click the wrong loop. It has to be right here. That's it. So now, so obviously we want to be a little soft too, so we're gonna have to make it bigger. So we're gonna go to object mode, turn on scale 2, and I am on 3, and I'm gonna scale entire thickness. Here we go. And then push it forward. We just need a little. Actually, hold on. Let's make it a little. Here we go. But make it thicker. Now, when we scale thick, it's also push that inward. So we can't really do that. But we can do this. Select this face. I am on 2. Turn on move 2. And let's look at from top. We want to make sure that it's constrained to these trajectory. Can you see? I just make decision by look at on the trajectory of the edges. So I'm gonna hold W key, left mouse click, Axis custom, set to edge, and pick this edge. Here we go. And then I can make it thicker. So now the bottom part is actually a little round. I think I might, this section, I think it need to be round right here. On it has to be like this guy. I think that what my mistake. We can remove some right here. Okay, go back to 1 right there. Got to remove that section. This is incorrect. So what I need to do is let's get rid of that line coming in right there. So basically these need to go all the way with that section right here. I select the edges right there too. Remove that. There we go. And if I press 3, still have a little loop there, right there. So I think this section need to be. I didn't check on the loop. So now I'm kind of trying to clean it up. So let's remove this section. Let me, right here. I have to remove this loop temporarily, and then we're gonna have to cut. We're gonna have to stop continuity differently on the back side because the shape is incorrect. Now press 3. Here we go. I just want that to be rounded right here. So now if I press 2 so that I can see proxy, object mode, multi-cut, here we go, and cut like this instead. Here we go. Okay, see, I still get that roundness. Now this section, oh, because of that part right there, I am missing it. There we go. Press 3 again. Here we go. Still missing one. Control 1. Oops. Go to object mode. Let's hide it. Control 1. Right here. That line didn't go through. multi-cut one. There we go. Let's do it again on this side. That will be quicker and even number, even space too. So yeah, double click, select the loop, delete. Now I'm gonna multi-cut one more time, this time, so that I don't have to connect them. What am I choosing? Multi-cut, here we go. That's it. Okay, Control 1. So now you got the shape. Okay. Press 3, press 3. Okay. So now we got that shape, and it just need a little touch up on the crucian. Do you have any questions on this? I think you might. I'm afraid you might getting confused a little bit on when I remove some surface. It's just because I didn't pay attention on the shape. I thought it was sharp. So, you know, now on this part, I think that might be, let me remove this loop temporarily. It's just because it's, press 3 again, and I think I need to taper this section instead. And now let me grab that one. Here we go. I don't need to grab this. There we go. Turn on scale 2. Make sure it's like only those two edges. And once again, if your axes are not aligned to that face, you're gonna just have to hold W key or R key is fine. Axis custom set to edge, but this edge, here we go, like that edge. So now I can taper it, and I can push in a little bit to give a little roundness. And I can grab the vertex, push it backward. Actually, I have to push all 3. Here we go. Press 3. Okay, so it started to be flattened a little bit. And I'm gonna grab that vertex, push it a little more. Here we go. So let's see. I think this is good. And then now I can go back to multi-cut and cut that loop. There we go. Press 3 again. And that's it. So here we go. So that's close enough. Do you guys have any questions on this?
No, I don't think so. Thank you.
Okay, so that's good. And I hope you can build that. Now, we're gonna do similar technique on this with the dentist chair. Now, 126. I got a few minutes, so I could do that part too. This part, let's do it right here. So this part, it's really easy actually. You started with cube again because, oh, I have a bunch of things there. It's just because when I do this, cube, okay, and I'm gonna align to this guy because we haven't phase transformed yet. That's so we can align, match, translate. Here we go. Just to get started, and I can rotate into the angle I wanted. And basically, how did I? Okay, so I'm still on a custom axis, so I get a change. to object. Here we go. Because when I rotate, it's become rotate more than a one axis at a time. So this one would be right about there. It's about, let's do minus 30. I mean, if you want it to be precision, you can select this and check. Oh, it's just only minus 29. Okay. That will be exactly match. Okay. And now I'm going to move it down into the location. Let's check. Push in, it's about there. Scale it down first. Make it about a similar thickness. You might need to, here we go, turn that Q too big, too thick. I think I can scale non-uniform right there. Here we go. I think it's just something like that. Let me double check. Yeah, it's not that thick. Okay. So now make it longer, and you can angle it so that they kind of match. There we go. It seems like I think my the whole thing here are too small. I'm gonna scale both of them together, but I don't add a thickness. I add a wideness. Here we go. Maybe a little thick. Okay, and then move backward. Here we go. Okay. Oop. So now, okay, in location. And I think it crooked right, rotate what? Rotate X. Here we go. Rotate X is crooked. Wait a minute. What did I do? So I have to rotate it back. Okay, that's, how is that possible? It shouldn't be rotate actually. Did we change some angle? No. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So now right here we need to subdivide enough segment. So if I draw this, let me zoom in a little bit so that you basically when you look at on the model, like on the shape, you need to start it to think about, I thought I could, you have to start it to think about the division. So it's straight line there, right? Okay, let me make it bigger. And it looked like this. Here we go. So it's mean one division, and to be able to push second division, actually 3 division might be just enough on this model. So let's try. If it's not enough, we can add later. So first I'm gonna switch to selection tool, and I'm gonna maximize this view, and then I think it need to be thin, move a little back. Oh no, maybe a little bit. Here we go, because it has to angle a little more. Okay, and a little longer. I want it to be penetrated inside that section. Okay, and I think it's too thick. Here we go. Okay. All right, so now come back to this, switch to selection tool so that we can see the division when we cut. And I'm gonna turn on a X-ray. So one loop right here, and second loop, let's do a little lower loop. Here we go. And now I'm gonna come here, select that edge, turn on move to, and we are still on object mode, which this edge still line up to the object space, so we could just push. And if you press 3, it will look like this. There you go. Press 1 back. I think that's good enough. And actually on the bottom is a little rounded, so I'm gonna push it up. Here we go. Can you see it looks like that shape already? So the next thing we do is a stop continuity, that's all. So let's switch to 2 so that we can see it. Shift right mouse click, multi-cut. Make sure you switch to selection tool so that you don't see that selection tripod. So make it flat on the side. Here we go. And right here. See that? I think that's good enough because they are not really round, not really sharp edge. What about this section? Let's cut a little more. Here we go. Now if it's too rounded, what you need to do is you can select the, I think we should move right here first and this smaller one together. So 3 edges. Oh, zoom in right there. Then turn on move to. Now I want it to smooth, but if I do slide might work too. Let's try slide. Oh, I extrude by accident. If slide doesn't work, we're gonna have to, ooh, come on. I think slide work too. Okay, here we go. So that's it. Now this section we want it to round, right? Just keep sliding. Here we go. And if it's still, we can grab these two, slide it up. That's better. So basically I think let's make it a little bit nicer. Select this edge loop and just delete it. Basically the loop has to be a little higher. That's all. Ouch. Object mode. Here we go. So I'm gonna use middle mouse click. No. I'm gonna undo. I think the first move that looks better. And now I'm a little picky about that line. I don't want it to create a folding or creasing. So you could move backward. Okay. I think that's good enough. And I feel like, let's do Control 1. These inside need to be more flatter. Can you see right there? Right, this section is flatter, sharper basically. So if I go to object mode, I could do extrude. Oh, before you extrude, let's cut on the top. We want the top to be sharp too. Here we go. And then if I press 1, press 3, see, we want that to be sharp. So now I could grab these faces, extrude, and just offset. And be careful about offset on right here. Make sure when you offset, these top line are not penetrated. Cannot be like this. Can you see that is folding? So you have to really be mindful about this when you do offset. Here we go. Now actually on this top part, we could even make it more sharper. Offset. There we go. I press 3, look like this. Okay. So if we deselect, turn this off, so it look like this. Here we go. Now if you need this section, press 1. Here we go. Right there. Oh, I extrude this by accident. No wonder why. Right here. I think I select the face and extrude it. Delete. Here we go. No, now it should look better now. Here we go. So now if you want stop continuity, so if I press 2, we can multi-cut, and you can just hold Control key and add one loop there. Here we go. I think hold on, let me undo quick. Oh, that's correct. One loop here. Press 3. Here we go. Okay. So I think I might need to move this down a little bit. Press 1 or press 2 so that you can see the line. And this line looks like it's gone. It's not. It's just because of the continuity of the surface. So I'm gonna switch to I'm gonna slide edge. I'm gonna slide the whole loop closer so that I can see a little separation. I have to be on 2 to do it. If you are on 3, you might do like this, like touch, or it's overlap again. So here we go. So now let's reuse this section to there, so that we don't have to keep doing it. I mean the same technique. Press 3 now. Here we go. Control D to duplicate it, and then rotate 180 degree. Is right there. Oh, here we go. Hold on. After you duplicate, double click, rotate. Make sure you're on object space so that you won't do right, minus 180 here. Oh, that one need to be there. So this one 180 on X. Here we go. You know what? If it's too hard to rotate it, I have another technique. So after you duplicate like this, right? And you could put negative, turn on move to negative on X. So that's, if you add minus X on scale, it's flipped. Can you see? Then you can move. Here we go. So I don't know if it's thicker or not. Seems a little too thick. Okay, press 1, and I'm gonna grab the vertices right there. Here we go. And just push in. Let me look at on the picture again. Oh yeah, it's quite, it seems thinner. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab this and push it down. We're still on object mode. Here we go. So right there. Okay, so now I grab this part and move forward. Let me check again how it looks. Oh, so that one, this section can go forward like that, and I can move it up a little bit. Let's see, that's right. And then I can push this more, that one coming down. Okay, and the whole thing forward. How about that? Here we go. And then up a little bit. Okay, so, and now when I press 3, okay, the next thing is I have to make sure that face sharp right here. So now, because we move things around, I think it's a good idea to remove this loop temporarily. The reason is so that Maya fix this line for us. So I delete it and then I re-loop it again. There we go. So now see it's nice line now. Now right here need to be sharp. So just extrude and then offset. Press 3. Here we go. So and press 1 back. Seems like it would be nice if I could even make it sharper, but no, I am not doing that. This is good. Okay. So press 3, Control 1, bring everything back. So now the next thing is just add another tube, another box or tube. I think is some kind of a little. Hold on, let me zoom in. If it round or no, it's kind of a look like a long rectangle shape. So I'm gonna create deselect, shift right mouse click, cube, and let's match translation. Go to a modify match, translate only. Here we go. And then this guy, you're gonna move it up and try to align to that section. So press 4 so that you can see. Rotate it. There we go. Scale it down uniformly and then make it longer. Right there. Scale it down again. So I think our orientation has to be matched with this guy instead. Mine is also absolutely off center. Here we go. So I think I'm gonna, let's see if I can move, rotate. What should I rotate? I'm gonna grab all of these together and just move aside. Here we go. To fit in, and these are a little bit thinner. There we go. And that's it. Okay. And that's the whole share. So, and that's it for today. I'm gonna have to go. I hope this helped. And you might have to watch a few times on certain part. So on the video, just just rewind it and then watch on the certain part, especially the part that I have to delete the edges. That might confuse you, but if you just follow step by step, you should be able to get it exactly same. Okay. So any questions, guys? And that. And one more thing. I group all share. So if I do modify center pivot, here we go. That's the share group. So these one are not in that group yet. So I'm gonna have to select, and I'm gonna control click, share group 1, edit parent. Here we go. So now if I select a pair group, oh wait a minute, where's my group? Oh, I was in, oh, the group node is all okay, because I build it separately. So these has to be, oh, okay. I have also wheel, a bunch of Then wheel. Okay, and office poly. Oh, I didn't have. Where's my group? Group share. I thought I had a group share. I have only seed, and so I have to group it. Okay, Control G. I thought I already grouped it, but center pivot. Here we go. So now, where am I must select some other object somewhere. Oh, the camera. There's somewhere my camera. I gotta figure it out. But group, and when you center pivot, it should move it center on the entire bounding box of that object. Somehow mine is not. Okay. So now the other thing is when you really done, let me save this quick. And then I'm gonna save scene as, so that if something wrong I can go back to the previous one. So this one will be 5. And I'm gonna select all, Alt Shift D to delete all history. And now these section I am already done it, finished. So I could face transform. So modify visit. Here we go. So if you move them around, you can bring them back by just zero this. And here we go. And this gonna call office share group. Okay. All right. So it's done. And just remember, guys, all the drawer will be due on Wednesday, so you need to submit the image. Just do screen capture and put it on the discussion group. We call the all drawers. I think I already created. Let me see. Let me check roll first, so that before I have to go, I have 10 minutes. Any questions, guys, while I'm checking roll? Are you guys all good?
Yeah, we are. Thank you.
Okay. Jacob.
Okay.
Alexis. Julian, yes. Leland. Leland, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Wesley.